What's up YouTube? Welcome to Trading Edge 4P, my channel. This is the first video that I'll be posting up. First and foremost, social distancing, safety, COVID-19, the reason I'm wearing a mask. And we'll do so going forward until COVID-19 disappears. As a disclaimer, I'd like to let you guys know that this is for educational purposes. I'm not a professional. I'm here more or less to have fun, give some tips and pointers to my friends, families, and so forth. So the goal of this video and any future video is to talk about stocks. I have friends, 4P, we're 4 people. Obviously it stands for something else, but we'll keep it as 4 people, who has different things that we've invested in. One of them is heavily invested in US stocks. I'm also invested in US stocks. We have others that are doing Bitcoins, mining, sports gambling, and so forth. One of the key points that came out during our conversation is that we had comparisons between Canadian stocks and US stocks. Obviously, a lot of the consensus is that the Canadian stocks lag behind and that it's not well worth it. So the main reason in this video is to see if we could profit, such as other YouTubers have done, as a consensus in terms of the community, using Canadian stocks only. Therefore, obviously, to do that, we're going to use more or less a Canadian platform. In the US, we have something called Robinhood. Obviously, we don't have that accessible in Canada. We have something almost similar. It's called Wealthsimple. It's also considered as a no commissions trade platform. The only downside is if you decide to take and trade American stocks, they do take a 1.5% exchange rate commission when you buy, and they take another 1.5% when you sell. I could be wrong in terms of the amounts, but I am pretty sure it's about 1.5%. So we're going to stay away from that, and we're going to keep it to the no commission base, which will stick to Canadian Stock Exchange, the TSX, and more or less sometimes the TSX Venture. In terms of options, there are 3 ways of investing. There's the tax-free savings account. There's the RSP, obviously for long terms. And there's also the regular investment account. And since we're not going to be doing day trading, obviously we're not going to define that today. But we're not going to be doing multiple trades in one day. But we'll try to keep it flow up week to week or so. We'll stick to the tax-free savings account so that we can gain the most benefit possible. As I indicated before, we're going to stay away from US stocks. So first and foremost, not everyone is a rich person, and we understand not everyone has $10,000 to invest to reach a certain goal. So we're going to start off modest to what most people can afford these days due to COVID-19. We'll start off with $500. Do make note that the choices I've picked for stocks might not be what you might pick in terms of your portfolio. In terms of the actual picks, I picked these just because I felt comfortable and that there's potential growth, and I'll explain why afterwards. But obviously these are my suggestions, and if you decide to go along with the ride, we could ride it together. Do note as well that if you do like to join the same platform, Wealthsimple, there will be links on the website as well as YouTube. You just have to click on it and join it. You'll get $10 free cash if you deposit $100 and trade $100 and so forth. I also have my Twitter account, which I'll post more updates if I can and so forth, depending on time, which is allowed. So first and foremost, let's go in terms of showing you my deposits right here. So as you can see, I've started depositing this on the 19th of November. The downside is that I had to wait 3 business days before it actually cleared. Once it did clear at that moment, I had the funds available, and this is what I've decided to purchase first. On the day that it was available, obviously the stock market skyrocketed. I had to pick something that I felt comfortable would rise in this and future, short term and long term. The benefit is that there is an EX dividend date coming up. It's not significant, but we are aware that gold is at somewhat its lows right now, and that there's a lot of sentiments that it could rebound. So obviously Barrick Gold is being one of the biggest gold miners around. It's listed on the TSX. It's also listed as gold on the New York Stock Exchange, but obviously here, sticking to the Canadian stocks, we've picked it up, and I've picked up 15 shares. Obviously, with the residual cash, I've decided to hold on to the $50 for now, to look for something else that might be interesting. Gotta remember that since we're starting off with such a low number, we have to somewhat diversify a bit. We're gonna try to play around with what I call is the about the 10 to 15% rule. Since our portfolio is small, we'll try to when it goes up to a certain amount, we'll try to sell, keep maybe 1 or 2 shares, and move on to something else, and slowly build up and diversify this small portfolio before we're able to build up bigger volume. So as you can see, I picked up a few shares here of Barrick Gold Company. Hopefully it'll go up and it'll help the portfolio grow. As of today, I picked up limited shares of Afria. It's a cannabis company. Obviously, it's one of the big players that we'll be looking out towards. Obviously, it's near its high right now, so it is very risky to pick it up at this time. But we're going to bank on the U.S. So with legalization in the U.S., especially with the Biden government coming in. A lot of people are looking at other companies such as Canopy, Aurora, and so forth. There are some of them that's also traded on the New York Stock Exchange. The downside of picking up Aurora compared to Afria, it was one of the ideas of picking it up, is that Aurora doesn't really have the right to sell their products in the U.S., whereas Afria and Canopy Growth do, due to licensing and so forth. So I felt a little more comfortable with picking Afria instead of Aurora at that moment. But we're only limited to 5 shares, but we'll hold on and see. Obviously, as of today, not really up, it's slightly up. We could do better, but obviously after 1 or 2 days, we can't complain. There is an EX dividend date that's coming up soon. Price of gold, as long as it holds up to about 1,800, we should be fine. Price should go up. Consensus is that in 2021, it should go up significantly. Obviously, we're also banking on the fact that if the U.S. Does give some sort of package to its people, the price of gold should shoot up as well. But as it stands, it's more or less a gamble, but at least it's a calculated gamble. So this is what we have for now. I'll obviously try to make more videos in the future if I can. I thank you guys for watching, and let me know how I can improve this and so forth, and give me some positive comments. Thanks.